You can only find dedication and willpower in our team. We are determined to follow the step to success. We are fully invested. She speaks with calm confidence, choosing her words carefully but never hesitating. Her tone is clear and steady, showing she knows exactly what she is talking about. The client nodded, listening to her as she spoke in a professional way. Our team has helped companies just like yours expand and grow, and we have results to prove it. When you work with us, you get a partner, not just a provider. As she finished her statement, the client leaned front on his seat before speaking. Mr. Joe, seems like you clearly believe in your team. He spoke, resting his hands on the desk where the files and other stuff placed. She did a smirk in response, waiting for him to continue. Mr. Joe, this better be worth it, Miss Ryan. She did a light smirk before leaning front on her seat as well. She stared into his eyes with confidence before letting out her words. Ryan, we stand by our words. The client did a proud smile before offering his hand. He looked at her and said, Mr. Joe, I believe we are on the right track. Let's move forward. Ryan, we'll begin preparation immediately. She smirked back, pulling her hand forward, shaking hands with him. Mr. Joe, until next time. Ryan, until then. They pulled their hands before getting up from their seat. They glanced at each other and did a bow, indicating the meeting has ended. The other clients got up and did the same before walking away from the meeting room. Ryan sighed, taking off her coat and resting it on her arm. She sat back on the seat and glanced on her left side at her secretary. Ryan, Miss Lee, how many meetings we have more? She waited for Lee to continue. Miss Lee, no more meeting for today, Miss Che, but we have an important party to attend tomorrow by Mr. Ho. Ryan, Mr. Ho, the reunion party. The secretary nodded. Ryan grabbed her phone. Secretary, Miss Che, can we move on to the other step? Ryan, cancel all the work we have today, Miss Lee. Today it's a very special day. I believe you and other teammates can handle it without me and my co-CEO. The secretary gave a light smile before nodding. Miss Lee, you can believe us, Miss Che. Ryan nodded, placing her hand on the secretary's shoulder before grabbing her coat and walking away with it. The secretary watched Ryan walking away in a hurry. She did a light smile before mumbling to herself. Miss Lee, Gus, Mr. Che is back from USA. Ryan walked through the corridor until her foot stopped in front of her office room. She grabbed the doorknob and opened it quietly without anyone noticing, just to find her sister being buried in her work. Her eyes were locked on the laptop screen while her hands were working rapidly. A few files were spread on the desk. She was very focused that she didn't even notice Ryan standing at the door with her arm crossed to her chest. Ryan smirked, finally breaking the silence. She knocked on the door, making her sister look into her direction. She crossed her arms back. Ryan, oops, did I disturb someone? She questioned in a sarcasm tone, making the other person chuckle. She closed her laptop. Yun, should I be honest? Ryan chuckled, pushing herself from the door and walking towards Yun. Ryan, of course you can, but make sure to sound polite. Yun crossed her arms, looking at Ryan with a raised eyebrow. Ryan stared back at her before they both burst into chuckles. Yun, how was the meeting? Surely well done. Yun waited for her to continue. Ryan, smooth. I'm very tired already. Yun, you are getting old, she said in a sarcasm tone. Ryan, yeah, 25 is basically old, but 23 is not young either. Ryan said, keeping her hands in pant pocket. Yun chuckled. Right, I can feel the back pain. She chuckled at her own words and Ryan shook her head, smiling back. That's when Yun remembered something. Yun, you didn't forget it, do you? Ryan, she realized what Yun was talking about and winked. Perfectly remember. Yun, great. Have you cancelled the rest of the work? Ryan, I handed it to our team and secretary Miss Lee. Thought to check on you. Yun, I'm almost done. I can finish the rest of the work later, but first let's go home. Yun said with a light smile. Ryan smiled back. Sounds good. Two black cars stopped in front of the mansion. The guards rushed as they saw those cars. They bent and opened the car door before bowing. Wyan and Yoon got off from their own separate cars and made their way towards the entrance. Wyan's hands were resting in her pocket. Yoon was scrolling her phone. The guards who were engaged to guard the place walked behind them, along with them. As they stepped inside, their eyes landed on a person who was in a call. I don't know what you will do, but I want you to look after everything. It should be perfectly flawless. Yeah, alright, he said, hanging up the call. His eyes shifted to the entrance of the mansion where Wyan and Yoon were standing. His face plastered a wide smile. Wyan and Yoon gazed at each other before looking back at their father. Wyan and Yoon, welcome back home, they said in sync, making Mr. Che chuckle. They both walked to him and did a side hug. He patted their shoulder and gazed between them. Mr. Che, how are my top players doing? He said playfully, placing his hand on their shoulder. Wyan, we are doing great, Dad. Hope everything went okay on the way. Yoon, me and Wyan cancelled our plans today to spend time with you, since it's been a month we spent with you. Three of them smiled, but their attention shifted when someone said while stepping into the living room. Of course, you never take a leave to spend time with me, she said, placing the coffee cup on the table. Yoon and Wyan chuckled while Mr. Che sat on the couch, making himself comfortable. Yoon walked to her before rounding her arms around her shoulder. Yoon, my dear mom, we wanted to spend time with both of you. Now don't look so blue. Mr. Che grabbed the cup, watching the mother-daughter not wanting to poke his nose. Wyan walked near the couch, resting beside Mr. Che, watching Yoon with a smile. Mrs. Che let out a displeased huff and smiled. Three of their gazes shifted to Mr. Che when he spoke, gaining their attention. Mr. Che, how about we watch a movie together? Hyun, not a bad idea to spend time. Why, me and mom will make some flavorful dishes so we can have dinner. Yun, for sure, with lot of talks. Mr. Che, alright, since you both handle the business in my absence. Yun, of course, we are the new co-CEOs after all. Mr. Che, I guess I made a good decision. After all, my daughters are not less than any man and often more. Wyan, thank you for trusting us that we will take this business far. Yoon nodded, agreeing with Wyan, with her hands still folded to her arms. Mr. Che, a 50-year-old businessman who is very successful in every step he took, his confident leadership brought to him where they are now. After working as a CEO for 25 years, he handed his business to his two daughters, named Yoon and Wyan, who are as professional and smart as him. He was never hesitant to hand this business to his daughters, since he had a lot of faith in them and he was always right. But including business, he is also involved in some illegal activities like being underworld mafia. He has friends who are in the same phase as him. All of the activities doesn't mean to harm anyone. All of this is done for the sake of good, for equity, for those who were never given justice for their losses. Their main goal is to expose and correct those frauds. Even cops can't do anything because there are no proofs to prove anyone guilty. This has been going on, and there is no one who can go against this underworld mafia. Name it Justisa, which stand for justice. Under this name, there are many illegal activities have done, but no one till now got caught. That's how powerful this underworld group is. It's not like Yun and Wyan are unaware of this fact. They surely do, but don't want to be involved in any of these activities. They are just fine being businesswomen. The place was dark, filled with silence. Total 8 persons were present at the place. One of them is the man who was sitting on his knees with his head hanging low. His knees were almost bruised. His lips were bleeding from the corner, his head hanging low. By his bruises all over his body, it's clear he was tortured, beaten. A gun was pointing straight to his head, and the person who was holding the gun glared down at the man with his dark eyes. He was at the edge of losing his patience. Now spit, unless you wish for more. The person who was holding the gun spoke in a dangerous tone. His expressions were stoic, nonchalant, but at the same time scary. His eyes were darker than the shadow. His jaw was clenched. The other guards who were standing behind him didn't dare to utter a single word. They just stood there. The man parted his lips to speak. He was very weak to even let out words. After so many struggles, he finally let out those same words. I don't know. The man who was holding the gun gritted his teeth, his veins popping out dangerously. His sleeves were folded above his arms, showing off his tattooed arm. The person who was standing behind the man sighed and made his way towards him. He placed his hand on the man's shoulder and said, "Jungkook, maybe he really doesn't know. Don't you think we're suspecting the wrong person?"